uniforms. Dave Poulin is back.
Dave Poulin, a very intricate part of this hockey club. He's had the stretched nerve, the shoulder sore, but he's willing to play and happy to be here. And he's skating very well this morning in the morning skate. So Dave Poulin is a big part of this hockey club. I know he hasn't been here long, but the Bruins certainly need him, not only defensively, but just checking, just for confidence, to know that you can steal the puck and you can disrupt this hockey club. And that's what he's been doing. The Canadians, he got a resounding boo when they announced his name that he'd be playing, so the fans know he's that good.
And the other question mark was Stephen Richer. He didn't work out in the practice for the Montreal Canadiens. 51 goals, a top goal scorer, a real threat in game number 2, particularly against the Boston Bruins. A broadcaster came to me and he looked at the Canadians come out on the ice, and Richer wasn't there. He was late coming out. And he conceded the series then if Richer wasn't playing. I thought that was a bit much.
Well, I've talked to a couple other people here about it too, and if Richer is not his skating self, he's going to be, even if he does play, I mean, his speed is one of his biggest assets. That's what sets up his tremendous ability to handle the puck. So if he's hurting, you know, you've got to take care of him. Play the body on him whenever and wherever possible, because he is an important cog in the wheel of this Montreal machine.
And after 2 games, Cam Neely is a big story here in Montreal. There was plenty of press coverage on Cam Neely.
Cam Neely has just emerged, and I think everybody, the consensus of opinion, is probably the best right winger in hockey today. He plays the game so physical, so tough. He can score goals, he can set them up, he can work hard, he can hit. And he's got all the tools an athlete, I mean, a hockey player has to be of the caliber that makes him the best in the world, and Neely has them all together.
It was interesting to hear a comment from Ryan Walter, a great veteran player for the Montreal Canadiens and a defensive specialist. How to stop Craig Janney. He said, if you go for the puck, you're dead.
And that's the case. You stay off him a little bit, he threads the needle. So what you do is you got to look him in the crest and take the body. Just go to Craig and ignore what he's going to do with it, except that you're going to get beat with the pass. Just make sure he doesn't get back in the play to do some other magical thing with it.
The assignment for Boston, win one of the games up here, preferably this one. They have been a good road team.
Been a very good road team. The Montreal Canadiens very aware of that. They've come in here before this year and beaten them. This is a Stanley Cup playoffs, however, and the things are going to be moved up a notch. The Bruins, I think they have certainly the ability to win every time they play, and it's tonight. This is not a game that you let slip away if it's at all possible. Supreme effort is necessary, and that's what they're going to win with.
And there's no question it comes down to goaltending. Andy Moog has been solid. Patrick Roy, well, they beat him 5 goals in 24 shots. That's not a general Patrick Roy percentage.
No, that is certainly not a good outing for him, especially 4 of them are definitely upstairs on him. That's, I think, with the Bruins scoring high, I think he's going to maybe hesitate going down. He won't go down so readily. When he's screened a little bit, he go down and fan out. He's been working miracles with that of late, and the Bruins upstairs, now he's going to stay there. I think that's a lot of why Cam Neely got that one-timer away to tie the game, is Roy had to stay up a little bit.
Well, they're at fever pitch here at the Forum. That's to be expected. Game number 3 with Boston in front, 2 games to none. Guy Bichet will have the national anthems.
Here's Guy Bichet with the national anthem. They're rocking in Montreal. The officials tonight, Kerry Fraser is going to be the referee with Swede Knox. Randy Mitten, the linesman. Andy Moog in goal for the Boston Bruins. The most impressive 1.97 goals against in the 90 Stanley Cup playoffs. Has been in goal for all 6 of the Bruins playoffs wins. Another performance tonight from Andy is absolutely necessary. His counterpart, Patrick Roy, at 2.31 goals against, not surprisingly, has played in all Montreal playoff games. Certainly he doesn't have to worry about job security.
I want to tell you, Pat Burns puts the Canadians in the Guinness Book of Records. He is starting 2 20-year-old defensemen, Eric Desjardins, Matthew Schneider, a young man out of Woonsocket, Rhode Island, who missed the first 2 games with a shoulder injury. That seems to be the injury of the month, as the Canadians, Desjardins, able to work it in. Ray Bourque just kept it away from Courtnall. Up for Burridge, he can't handle it. Desjardins takes over. Desjardins and Matthew Schneider on defense. Ray Bourque breaks it up again. Smith can't move it in. Poulin checks him. And a battle on the boards at the Boston blue line. And it is tied up for a faceoff.
Okay, the keys to this hockey game, weather the early Montreal storm. There's no doubt in my mind they're going to be coming out trying to win this hockey game early. 2, a lot of the Bruins had a lot of success covering Montreal's point men. Do not let this Matthew Schneider or Svoboda or Chelios get in much of the play if it's at all possible. And the Bruins clear the puck a little bit better in front of the net. Andy Moog's making the original save. Canadians going for that rebound all too often. Clear that out of there.
And a changeup for Boston. Craig Janney with Brian Propp and Cam Neely. In 39 playoff games in his young career, Craig Janney has 41 points with a 4-point effort the other night. Carbonneau out there. McPhee on the left and Keane on the right. That's a change by Pat Burns, with Keane going to right wing. And in deep, they push it in front. It deflects, though, to Propp. Propp trying to clear it out does. Taken over by Ludwig. He's paired on defense with Chelios. Forechecking is Neely. Chelios is tripped by Propp. They let it go. Carbonneau covers. Plays it up in the center ice, knocked away by Wesley. Propp trying to get started. This is a checking line for the Canadians, and a good one led by Carbonneau. Janney breaks free, tries to set Neely in, doesn't work, and kept in now by Janney. He's taken down by Ludwig. Neely put it in front, deflected and tied up by Roy. A heavy hit on Janney by Ludwig, but Neely then walked in from the right wing side and had a threat going on Patrick Roy.
Cam Neely looking to make a play there. Had Brian Propp on the far side of the net. You know, nice work earlier by Craig Janney to tie it up. That man right there, if he has a banner game, right here, comes through. Now Janney's knocked out of it, and it comes to Neely, tries Propp, hits a foot, just doesn't get to Brian. Anytime you're around that net, hits a foot like that, it can go in too.
Mike Milbury double shifting the Poulin line as Burridge is on left wing and Christian on right wing.
Little line matching early by both coaches.
Back for Galley. Galley cuts way in, shoots, save Roy. Oh, a superb bid. Galley was no more than 35 feet away. He walked right in on that one. And a right pad save by Patrick Roy. Dufresne clears it in, could be icing. It is. Galley back. And a little bumping, Don Sweeney and Skrudland. And the Bruins with 2 excellent chances.
Hey, Gary
right
Galley.
off the bat.
Gary Galley's shot was something else. He got that a little higher. Patrick Roy got the blocker on it. He wasn't too secure about how he got it. He just got it. Mike Milbury, Natalie attired behind the bench tonight. Bruins confident. Good morning skate.
For the Canadians now, Todd Ewan is out, Gilchrist and Walter. Another defensive line, but Pat Burns builds his team on defense. Gilchrist, one of his
right
favorites.
Here's Galley all alone, nobody on him. Patrick Roy, that might have got tipped on the way in.
That was tipped, and he just got a piece of it. Walter trying to break, pokes it up over the line. Ewan checks it, and Gilchrist follows up. Is broken up by the back checking of Poulin. Out comes Christian. Christian can't set up Burridge. Poulin intercepts at center ice on Ewan. Gets it to Burridge, who wraps it in. Back for it, Svoboda. Christian right on top of him. And it's around to Ewan. Ewan gets it out to Gilchrist. Gilchrist stopped. Walter trying to break on Bourque. Walter with a threat. Caught by Moog. Was off to the side of the net. Short side. But a good shot by Walter. Not on net. And a face-off now to the left of Andy Moog.
Good wrist shot there. Surprising what he got on that. Good power. Andy Moog focused early. Pick it up.
For the Canadians, they come out now with Skrudland, Richer, and Corson. This is their big line. Boston, Bob Carpenter, with John Carter on the left and John Bice on the right. And I think Mike Milbury would want the Poulin line on against Skrudland. Weiss, the rookie. Puck kept in by Desjardins. Around behind the net. Blocked by Bourque. Able to get it up to Weiss. Weiss trying to break with Carter. They can't combine. Skrudland trying to tap it in. Stopped by the back checking of Weiss. Gives it to Bourque. Bourque to Carpenter. Carpenter to Peterson, and it's cleared out by Peterson. Pressure by Montreal. Weiss trying to get on top of Schneider. Pass up. Bourque checks it at the line, and the play called offside. No score. First period on TV 38 at the Montreal Forum. And the faceoff just inside the Montreal line. 17-13 left here in the first period. Ray Bourque on defense with Alan Peterson. Skrudland intercepts, broken up. Carter back, fires right on. Save on a 55-footer by John Carter. Now Skrudland picks it up. Barrels to center ice. Richer trailing. Skrudland pokes it in, knocked away. Skrudland puts it in front, blocked by Bourque. Bourque sends it away to Carpenter. Good break here. Coming out with Carter, but they want a line change. Crisscrossing, they can't connect. And Schneider out of Woonsocket, Rhode Island. And a great feature. Here's Richer over the line, bearing in. Picked the corner and missed the net. And Boston comes back with Carter and Neely in a line change. Carpenter there, too. He drops it for Carpenter. A shot and a save. Roy. And Richer had the best chance so far for Montreal. Coming in on the off wing. And he was picking the far side, but missed it.
Stefan Richer definitely did look far side. Andy Moog, I mean, the goaltender has to give you something to shoot at. Richer come in, snapped a quick wrist shot just wide, came down. The Bruins had a good opportunity. Carter high and wide. Here's what Richer's seeing right here. He tries to snap it far side. Had that been on net, Moog would have caught it.
Janney out with Propp and Neely, Beers and Wesley. Face off to Montreal's Chris Chelios. Up for Mike McPhee. The clear out stopped by Beers. And McPhee trying to break. Stopped by Propp. Back for Beers. No score in the game. Opening minutes. Keane intercepts for Montreal. Wheels it back in as this checking line is out. Beers lost it around the boards. Carbonneau puts it in front. Knocked away by Moog. Janney trying to clear it away. Carbonneau checked behind the net by Beers. A battle in the corner. Carbonneau pins him. Beers gets free, moves it up to Neely. Neely to Janney. Janney poked it away and beat Chelios, but not Ludwig. Now it's taken by Propp. Propp over the line, off wing side, cuts across, gives it to Janney. Janney, a quick shot. Blocked by Chelios, goes high. Boston with their chances. Canadians coming out. Carbonneau. Drifting over the line for Keane. The shot over the net. Good bid there. Long pass out now. Propp to Neely. Neely with Janney. And coming up is Galley. Off for Galley. Galley handles it. Moves it in, and his backhander went wide. Gould keeping the puck in. It rolls around for Ludwig. Good rush there by Boston. 5 minutes into the first period. Courtnall with the speed over the line. Stopped by Don Sweeney. Cold. Gould trying to come out. Lost it to Courtnall. Courtnall drops it off, and Dufresne clears it in. Puck loose, bounces. Courtnall able to keep it in for Lemieux. Courtnall, centering pass, turnaround shot, Smith. It is blocked. And Bruins trying to come out. Bob Sweeney broke it up. Smith kept it in. Moog out of the net, loses. Courtnall gets it, trying to put it in front. Smith behind the net, trying to poke it in front. Finally, Byers gets it. There is a loss.
Andy Moog lost his stick.
Stick on the ice. It was Moog. Lemieux coming right back. Pressure by Montreal. A grab by Moog. Tied up behind the net. He's belted by Smith. And Bob Sweeney finally able to clear it out. A penalty on Montreal was the signal I caught. It is Montreal, I think, for roughing Moog. And Bob Smith going out. No score. First period for him in Montreal. Bob Smith out for roughing. Andy Moog, who was down and out behind the net.
Well, he lost his stick. What he wanted to do is one of his defensemen, once they got it out, was retrieve it for him. That never happened. Now he's behind the net. He's getting all sorts of aggravation back there. Bobby Smith takes him out of the play. Get himself a little roughing for that. Andy went back to a little communication with his defense. If you see my stick, get it.
First power play for Boston. With it, Wesley. He's on with Bork and Janney. Janney starts it away after deep forechecking by Carbonneau. Janney gains the line. Along the line, he lost it, and Carbonneau able to clear it. Janney, as he so often does, gains the line, stops, cuts, looks. And Carbonneau able to get back in that one. Prop now over the line for Wesley. Wesley penetrating back for Janney. Janney flips it to Bork. Shot in. Deflected right into Patrick Roy. He's able to tie it up. As Ray Bork hit that low and hard, and Roy makes save number 3. And the Bruins have off to an excellent start here with some good chances on Roy.
The type of game that Boston had to force. Right here, a bouncing puck, kicks it. Chelios almost knocked it in his own net. Caroline Gray, John Carter wanted to say hello to her, 80 years old, get well in Woburn.
And now Mike Milbury going with the 4 forwards. That means Janney out there. Christian for the faceoff. Prop, Neely, Janney, Christian. With the lone defenseman, Ray Bork. It worked well for the goal. Neely late in the game. Janney, excellent against Carbonneau. And Christian won it around the boards. Janney penetrates in the corner. He's belted on the play, and they are playing him physically. Neely back to Ray Bork to start it again. Christian stays up front. Let's see how they have an alignment as the puck is driven in, deflected into the stands, and the faceoff will be outside the line. 1:03 left on Bobby Smith's roughing penalty against Andy Moog. 13-16 left in the first period. No score. 3 shots for Boston, none for Montreal. Significant in that you would figure Montreal, looking at Guy Carbonneau, the captain.
Carbonneau getting either sprayed snow or sweat or whatever off his visor. Janney was doing the same thing. It's got to be bothersome when you get those all wet inside.
Mike Milbury's interesting power play with 4 forwards. Christian gets the draw. Janney plays a point with Ray Bork. Janney starts it out, watched by Keane now. Gives it to Christian. Christian over the line, lost it. Cleared away by Ludwig. And Bork starts again. 40 seconds left. Janney again. The clear in. Neely hustles in. He's taken off by Chelios.
Oh, that's interference.
Christian trying to keep it in. Janney does. Up to Prop. Back to Janney again. Operating right point. Pass up blocked by Keane and cleared away by Carbonneau. Prop now for Bork. Bork away. Drops it back for Neely. Neely along the line. He's the point man. Going wide. Still holding. In deep. Drops it for Bork. 12 seconds left. Bork a shot. It is blocked. How often does Carbonneau do that? A big play by Carbonneau, and the penalty is up. Bruins controlling, regrouping. Christian now to Galley. Broken up. Scoodlin a hit on Galley, and over the line comes Corson for a shot. Great save. The clear by Burridge on the rebound as it was right in front. And Christian coming out. Christian broken up by the back checking of Scoodlin. Now to Schneider. A pass into center ice. Bruins control. Galley with it. Heavy hitting by Scoodlin set up a scoring chance for Corson. And the puck jammed up at center ice.
Now the hustle on that play was shown by Randy Burridge, and we said make the first save. Make sure you get those rebounds for him.
No score first period. Back in a moment. And Brian Scoodlin with some heavy body checking set up a chance for Corson. And the kick-out save by Moog. And right on the spot was Burridge. That puck deflected right in front, about 15 to 20 feet. Nobody there but Burridge, though. Poulin now with Bob Sweeney on the right and the Randy Burridge on the left. Wesley, Galley play defense. Bruins check it against the big line. Desjardins trying to move. Loses to Burridge. Burridge over the line. Checked by Corson. They battle. And back to get it. Desjardins. He's on defense with Schneider. Can't believe two 20-year-old defensemen in combination, but both are very talented. Obviously, that's why Burns has them there. Here is Moog getting a face-off as he tied it up. And a penalty. Frazier is saying delay of game. There were no Canadians near you. You tied up the puck. And a penalty on Andy Moog. The goaltender can tie it up.
Crowd got involved in that one. The quick boo, and Kerry Frazier said, okay, I won't have him yell at me. Dave Poulin's going to question it. Andy Moog had his back turned, couldn't see that no Canadians were coming in on top of him. Been used to a lot of attention in his crease.
So Andy Moog involved in both penalties. He was roughed by Smith. And now delay of game. And the face-off in the Boston zone. This is Montreal's first power play. And they are going with 4 forwards. Richer plays the right point with Svoboda.
The object here is to get Richer and spring that shot loose.
It is 3 forwards. Chelios is up on the line. Richer looking for the draw from Skrubin.
That's what I mean. That's what I said. I just think they want to get the shot to Richer from the draw.
Poulin wins the draw for Bork. Bork up for Prop. Prop able to swing it out. Richer, the point man, Poulin after him. And the pass up to Corson, offside. Well, but went over 2 lines. At center ice, interception, Poulin. He attacks, fakes, walks in, shoots. Smith fires on the play. Dave Poulin, beautiful rush as he moved right in on a shorthanded bid. Back in the Boston end, Moog lost it, but Bork covers it and clears it out.
That penalty's got Andy Moog thinking.
Svoboda winding up now, 1:22 left on the Montreal power play. And Poulin with a marvelous chance misfired as he walked right in with a great fake. Wesley able to clear it out. Racing for it, Carter. Going in, shot, scores! John Carter, a shorthanded goal as Richer loafed. Going back, and John Carter makes it 1-0 Boston.
Patrick Roy, big mistake, missed his net. He never gave any credit to John Carter from a tough angle. A serious mistake for that.
Well, they were playing the 3 forwards, but they were playing Chelios up
right
front.
here, bouncing puck. Richer reached out lazily. Carter just snaps the shot off. Roy down, misses it with his glove, looks back. Wow, John Carter right there got himself a big goal.
Well, he had a big one the other night. John Carter, a shorthanded goal. But Richer back at the point. Now, they're not playing 4 forwards, but he was the point man on the entire setup. Puck driven in. John Sweeney clears it right out. And the Bruins break again. Carter with Carpenter, killing some time. Drops it in the Montreal zone. 9:54 left, first period. John Carter, a shorthanded goal. 40 seconds on the Canadian power play. Smith over the line. Into the corner, near the net. Behind the net, puts it in front for a scramble, blocked. Courtnall trying to move it back, and Prop breaks it up on Desjardins. Loose puck taken by Carpenter. Shot, save, Roy. He drilled that one from the blue line. 20 seconds on the Canadians' power play, and the Bruins have had 2 shots, and the Canadians have not had any.
Let Wesley go back there, had a little time, took a look up at the clock. Heads up play by Wesley, didn't ice it, knew he was shorthanded.
Here comes Smith over the line. Gives it to Courtnall, in for a shot, blocked, pounced on by Wesley and Moog at the crease. Oh, and Wesley can't handle that puck in the crease.
No, he
Moog
can't.
was there.
Kerry Frazier called the face-off to the left. Not wanting at this point to give a penalty shot for that.
The Bruins were shorthanded, and they had 3 superb scoring bids. Well, 2 anyway. Carter's a long shot. Poulin walked right through the defense for a possible bid and misfired on Roy. Carter wrapped it home for a goal.
Bob Carpenter just about beat Roy on that last one as well. Roy just got a piece of that.
So Boston is up to 5 shots. Montreal 2 on that last bid.
Thus far, Bruins, Fred, I don't think is having a banner game here. Seems to be a little unsettled.
9:07 left in the first period. And face-off coming up to the left of Andy Moog. We're looking at the big A on the big right winger, Cam Neely. Age 24. Richer, with his 51-goal season, is 23. Dufresne and Svoboda on defense, 1-0 Boston. Winning the face-off, and Beers gets it out to Christian. In the center ice, lead too far for Poulin. He hustles in, gets the shot anyway, and it's just wide. Burridge trying to contain it with deep forechecking, and the Canadians break it out. Gilchrist off for Walter. Now for Gilchrist, coming off the corner, in front, off the glove of Moog, goes wide. A battle on the boards. Wesley, Gilchrist, Walter, tied up for a face-off. Boston 1, Montreal 0. First period at the Forum. Old short-handed John Carter from Glenn Wesley at 9:49. Each team has had a power play. They're 0 for 1, but the Bruins had a marvelous penalty-killing effort. Here's a quick shot in by Skrudland on the bouncing puck. He gets it behind the net. Corson trying to set up in front. Poulin breaks up the play. Clears it out.
That play there by Dave Poulin. He stuffed that pass out from Skrudland with his left foot, with his right foot.
Mike Milbury has the Poulin line on against the Skrudland line, the big line for Montreal. Poulin jammed up. Burridge it is, battling with Corson. Here comes Svoboda over the line. Clears it in. Back for it, Bob Beers. Lost it. Taken by Skrudland. Skrudland. Corson forced deep in the corner. Beers battling. Corson. 1-0 Boston. And they get it to Burridge. Burridge trying to come out. Hard pressed against Richer, who stayed with him, but he cleared it up, and Mike Milbury makes a quick line change. 1-0 Boston on a Carter shorthanded goal. Bruins break up the play on Montreal, but it was offside anyway. 1-0 Boston, first period at the Forum. Alan Peterson in front of Andy Moog. The shots are 5, Boston 2, Montreal. And the feature so far, the shorthanded goal by John Carter, but the Bruins with 3 excellent scoring bids while shorthanded. Canadians have enough problems on the power play without giving up scoring opportunities. They didn't give them up. The Bruins created them. Carbonneau clears it out, and with it, Alan Peterson. Again, a checking line on for Patrick Burns. Janney tips it up, taken over by Carbonneau. Chelios on the right now for Keane, in for McPhee. Bourque and McPhee, heavy hitting. Bourque bumps him off the puck, clears it around, not out, but Neely steals from Ludwig. Gets it away now to Prop. Back for Neely, over the line, penetrating, holding. Fakes, gives it across for Bourque, moves in for a shot, scores! Raymond Bourque from Cam Neely to make it 2-0 Boston.
Patrick Roy guessing. A great play by Neely, a drag shot by Bourque. Prop in front, screening, knocked down. Right here, Neely with a heads-up play. Now, he risks a chance of Carbonneau stealing this, but Bourque's in motion. For what? Patrick Roy never got his stick ready in time. He was too busy getting it dragged away by Ludwig in front of the net.
Looked like it hit the stick of McPhee.
Watch when it goes in. Right now, he's got his stick tied up. The shot by Bourque. Patrick Roy never got set for the shot.
One of the big factors is the penetration of Boston. They are not only gaining the blue line, they are really controlling it over that Montreal line. Boston leads 2-0. Ray Bourque from Cam Neely. And what a gun of a pass that was by Neely. Knew he had to make it. Gould breaks it up now. Back for it goes Schneider. Schneider missed the first 2 games. Bruised shoulder. Schneider from Desjardins. Up for Smith. Smith over the line. Back for Courtnall. Rolls it in. And it goes behind the net. Lemieux there to get it. Lemieux works it in the corner. Still holding. Pass is blocked by John Carter. Carter trying to flip it out. A lead for Galley didn't work. Back of the Boston zone. Don Sweeney takes over. fires it right out, and it bounces for Carter off the linesman. Carter spilled on the play. Bob Sweeney on the follow-up. Now Carter, a steal again. John Carter everywhere with a shorthanded goal. Ray Bourque, the other scored. 2-0 Boston. 6 minutes left in the first period. Schneider able to gain the red line. But Skrudland is offside. Boston 2, Montreal nothing. We'll return in a moment. The goal, Ray Bourque from Cam Neely at 13:02. After Carter from Wesley shorthanded made it 1-0. Poulin out there now with Carpenter on the left and Bice on the right. Rushing Svoboda. The clear in. Back for it, Raymond Bourque. The shots are 6 Boston, 2 Montreal. Bruins work it out to John Bice, the rookie. Fires it in. And back for it, Dufresne. Up now for Skrudland, blocked by Poulin. Poulin keeps it, tries to set up Bice over the line. But Svoboda takes over. 5:20 left, first period. 2-0 the Bruins. This could be icing. Wesley there. And icing. And a face-off in the Montreal zone. The feature of that Bourque goal was that pass by Cam Neely. Almost from one side of the rink completely to the other with plenty on it because Carbonneau would have intercepted.
Standing in between. Guy Carbonneau waved at it a little bit. If it had been a soft lay-down pass, he'd have picked that off for sure, but excellent play when you get away with it. Dangerous when you don't.
5:13 left in the first period. 2-0 the Bruins. And the line is Bob Sweeney with Burridge on the left and Christian on the right. Galley and Don Sweeney for Boston. The draw to Svoboda, chased by Christian. Now Ewan gets it out for Walter. Up for Gilchrist. He can't get it. Checked by Burridge. Beautiful checking by Burridge. Stayed with his man. Can't set up Sweeney. And breaking now Walter with Gilchrist. Gives it to Gilchrist. Gilchrist cuts in front. Shoots. Scores! Gilchrist from Walter. Walked right into the middle. And Gilchrist makes it 2-1 as Montreal gets on the board.
Nice handling of the puck here by Gilchrist. Cuts across the grain in traffic. Stays outside of the sweep check. Don Sweeney gave the blue line away here. Then Gilchrist cuts back in front of him. A wrist shot under the fallen Galley. Right here. Can't give that blue line away.
And 4:51 left. And the fans come alive. On the third shot for Montreal, Cookie Gilchrist. No, it's not Cookie. He used to play football. Bruins drive it in and press the play. Canadians trying to come out. Janney, Prop, Neely on. Wesley, center ice, gains the line with Prop. Prop clears it in. Ryan Walter set up that goal, and Chelios starts it out. 4:20 left in the first period. Up for McPhee, too far for Keene, and Wesley clears it. Chelios wraps it back in. Ray Bourque there. Clears it out. 4 minutes left in the first period. 6 shots Boston, 3 Montreal. And Boston leads it 2-1 on goals by John Carter and Ray Bourque, with Brent Gilchrist coming back for Montreal. A lead now on the right for Carbonneau. Can't handle it. Would have been open. Peterson battling for it. It goes behind the net. Ray Bourque there. Bourque shovels it up for Prop. Prop for Neely. Neely with Janney. Neely trying to break in. Is stopped. Keene back to cover. Neely in pursuit near the net. Finally, Ludwig takes over. Starting out with 3:20 left in the first period. Excellent one for the Bruins. The lead now for Smith. Over the line. Shot. A save by Andy Moog on the 40-footer. Peterson able to clear it out. Chelios wraps it back up. Peterson breaks that up. Peterson. Now, here comes Poulin over the line. Cutting wide. Shot. Save. Roy. as he put a quick wrist shot on. And the Canadians start back. A lead on the right for Courtnall, the speedster, with Smith. Holds, blocked. And Don Sweeney, good defensive play on the Bruins. Poulin to Don Sweeney with Christian, with Galley. Over the line, 3-on-2, but they can't make it pay off as it goes behind the net on the attempted pass by Don Sweeney. 2:40 left, first period, 2-1 Boston. Canadians penetrate. Courtnall, a shot wide. Another shot by Lemieux and a save on the corner by Moog. Bourque gets it free, not out, kept in by Courtnall. Don Sweeney punching the man in deep. That no call, the fans yelling for that, and Don Sweeney gets it now. That was a punch at Lemieux. Out comes Carter with Christian. Great speed over the line, he's all alone. Now stops, cuts, gives it for Carpenter. Carpenter broken up by Skrudland. Knocked down on the play, and Schneider starts it out. 2 minutes left. Long shot by Desjardins. Rebound, Skrudland pokes it around the boards. Galley trying to move it out. Stopped. Kept in by the Canadians. Shot by Richer. Blocked by Peterson. Kept in now by Corson behind the net. Bruins break it up. That was Galley to Gould. Coming out, stopped by Christian. Banged around in front of the penalty box. Heavy hitting there. And a whistle. Boston 2, Montreal 1. First period at the Forum. 1:40 left in the first period. 2-1 Boston. The Canadians heartened by the goal by Gilchrist. Kind of an unexpected source, but a favorite of Pat Burns, played with Pat in Sherbrooke and then last year got up, and mainly one of those defensive forwards, but he made a fine rush. Janney out there with Neely and Prout for Boston. Galley and Wesley. Wesley lets it go. Oh, that was tricky for Patrick Roy. It looked as though he was not going to reach down low enough to get it. Long shot by Wesley. Here's Carbonneau over the line. The Canadians are penetrating now since the goal by Gilchrist.
Bruins are giving up the blue line a little too early. There's too much respect for them. They've got to stand up and take their men.
Carbonneau tipped in by Keane. Oh, down is Janney. And let's see what there's a call on coming up. Bruins
Janney got it. Carbonneau got Janney in the side of the face.
Power play for Boston. And now the call. A high stick against Keane on Janney. 54 seconds left in the period.
I think it's going to be Carbonneau. No, it's on Keane. I thought it was Carbonneau that did it.
And the Bruins will go on their second power play. Montreal has had one, and it backfired with John Carter scoring a shorthanded goal. Ray Bourque made it 2-0. Gilchrist came back to make it 2-1. On the power play for Boston, Mike Milbury has gone with the combination that paid off in the game against Montreal at the Garden, trailing in the final minutes. When Neely scored, it was set up by Janney, a beautiful move on Carbonneau, dropping it back to Bourque, and one time by Neely to tie the game, sent it to overtime for the goal by Galley. Also set up by Janney. Janney is playing the point. Ludwig drops it in. Walter banging, barging into Janney. Neely winding up. And Janney broken up by Carbonneau's deep forechecking. And Walter. Now the Bruins break it out. It is Bourque leading the charge. 30 seconds in the period. Trying to set it up. Christian follows in. Kept in by Janney. Janney, a shot. Save. Rebound knocked away. Janney gets it in the corner. He's flips it to Bourque beautifully. Bourque holding left point. 15 seconds left. Bourque along the line. Gets it up on the right for Prout. Back now. Bourque over to Janney, playing the left point with Bourque. 5 seconds left. Fires it in. Wawath the save. Rebound Neely. Neely off for Janney, but time runs out in the period. 1:06 left on that power play for Boston.
Okay, well, we take a look at some of the action from the first period and see what you got for it.
Okay, we've got a turnover here at the blue line. Cam advances it up. The blue lines are very important. watch Montreal defense give up the blue line. I think they're a little bit nervous when Cam and Craig are out there. They give up the blue line, gives Cam time to get in over the blue line, and stops here. Okay, he's gonna turn and pivot here. And as we move along, you're gonna see 5 Canadians back, and Cam is putting it right over here to Ray Bourque. When we go to the overhead shot, you'll see what happens when you give up that blue line. Mike McPhee is collapsing too deep. He's got too much respect for Craig and Cam in here, and you got 5 Canadians right here in this area covering these 2 guys because of how powerful they are. You have to have more respect for Ray Bourque. He's coming in here. You'll see him drifting in here into this pocket, and it's just too late for McPhee to recover. There's just too much time and too much room for Ray Bourque to shoot from this area. He can score goals from there.
Taking a look at it now, this made the game 2-0. Boston at the time, they had scored shorthanded on a John Carter goal earlier.
You can see McPhee is caught too deep, and when number 77 is out there, I know you have to respect Cam, you have to respect Craig, but when number 77 is out there, you can't give him that much room to shoot. And if he does get set up for a shot like that, I think you have to throw the body in front of it, like Guy Carbonneau has been doing. The most important thing is for the Canadians, if they're going to get themselves out of trouble, is to stand up on this blue line and don't give the Bruins time to set up. Cam will set up over here, and you'll see Craig set up over here and by the same time and look for the late player to come in for the shot.
All right, and Bourque beating Patrick Roy to the stick side, and as we mentioned, that made it 2-0.
Now this goal was credited to Gilchrist. Actually, Ewan scored the goal, and here's Ewan right here in the corner. The puck has turned over the Canadians. They're now attacking down ice, and Bob Sweeney has body position. When the puck is turned over, you want to have body position on your check. You want to be between your goal and your check so that you can slow him down, intercept any passes. Okay, as we roll along, it turns into a 2-on-2, and again, you see how important the blue lines are. Donnie Sweeney's backed up a little bit, and Walter has moved over here to force a 2-on-1 on Donnie Sweeney. Whenever you have a 2-on-2, you want to turn it into a 2-on-1 by playing one defenseman. Randy's moving over here to cover his defenseman who's coming in late. Now, here's Ewan, who was behind Bob Sweeney back at the other end of the ice. What happens here, Gilchrist has got 2 options. He cuts the inside. He can take a wrist shot at the net with a rebound here, or he can slide it over to Ewan for a quick shot. That gives Andy Moe 2 things to think about instead of setting up for the one shot. And you can see it just touch Ewan's stick here and slide under the defenseman and into the corner. This man should not have been in the play. This man should not have been in the play, and it's just a little breakdown in the transition of the game that happens, and that's what mistakes cause goals.
All right, looked like Gary Galley screened a little bit on that play from Moog as well.
Yeah, but it was tipped by Todd Ewan, and it slid under Gary's tummy and into the far corner.
The shots on goal first period, 10-5 for Boston, appropriate for the score. Boston 2 and Montreal 1, and the Bruins are on their second power play. 1:06 left on Keane's penalty for high-sticking Janney. And what about the power play now with Craig Janney at the right point, Christian at center between Propp and Neely, Craig Janney back at that right point, Ray Bourque at the left point, but really it's kind of carte blanche for Janney to move anywhere.
What it is, I think it's taking a lot of the attention from Janney. If he wants to go down low behind the net, fine, he can do so on a switch-off. Christian then can go back to the point, cover for him, being a defenseman at one point or other in his career. But Janney's getting an awful lot of attention. If you do the same thing all the time, they get to defend against it. So Mike Milbury's trying something a little innovative, trying to shake Montreal up a little bit.
Well, so much for that strategy. It's now Wesley out there with Bourque. And up front, Janney, Neely, and Propp. But on 3 power plays, Mike Milbury used Janney as the point man, 4 forwards, and of course it paid off big in game number 2 at Boston Garden. Carbonneau against Janney. Carbonneau and McPhee, Chelios and Ludwig. Ray Bourque and Wesley. Now to Bourque. Fires up the boards. All the way around. Janney with it. Quick pass into Prop. Prop back for Janney. Janney controlling. Carbonneau after him. He closes. Moves deeper. Puts it in front. Blocked. Never reached the front of the net. Prop with it. Now to Ray Bourque, who had closed on that one. Bourque over to Wesley. Wesley well up from the point position to Janney behind the net. They come after him. Two men. Ludwig. Chelios jointly are allowed to handle that puck.
Oh, I don't know. Craig Janney, he backed off pretty good. He said, what are they doing? That's delay of game. The only thing that saved them was that Brian Propp stuck his stick in there. That's what Neely's talking about. It was well after the fact. Brian Propp had it backed off a little. They might have gotten themselves a delay of game.
27 seconds left on the penalty to Keene, just underway in the second period, and 2-1 for the Bruins. Goals by John Carter, shorthanded, Ray Bourque, and Brent Gilchrist coming back for Montreal with a score. Janney stays out there, Prop and Neely, Bourque and Wesley. Carbonneau wins this one for Chelios. Chelios for Carbonneau, able to clear it. The Bruins have the lead, have to continue the fine forechecking that they demonstrated in the first period that set up plays. Over the line now comes John Bice for Janney. Drop pass, though, is outside the line. And 5 seconds left. As Bice went out there at right wing, and now a change-up as Montreal is at full strength. Chelios. Pass blocked. Bice pass blocked by Carbonneau. Checked by Carpenter. Taken over by Ludwig to Chelios. Carpenter forechecking. Chelios ices it. Well, it surely was an attempted icing, and it deflected into the stands. He just wheeled and was going to fire it right to the Boston end. Wanted a change.
He wanted a change is what he wanted. Bobby Carpenter on him, got the stick on it. The two of them just kind of chopped it into the stands.
Face-off now inside the Montreal line. John Bice, the rookie out of the University of Wisconsin, a native of Madison, Wisconsin, is at right wing. We're looking at Mike Keene back from serving his penalty for high sticking. Another of the defensive specialists of Pat Burns, whose whole coaching theories are based first on defense. And Dufresne now lost it in front. Stolen by Carter, and he couldn't quite fire it in. Bice trying to put it in front, couldn't do it. John Carter came close as Roy could not get it when Dufresne lost it. Bice breaks up the play on Svoboda. Carter, a hard hit. Bruins battle to keep it in. Carter trying to get it. Bice does. Bice in for Carter. Can't get the shot away. Try to pass. Drops it off for Galley. Galley in deep. Checked by Svoboda, taken down. Around the boards, Bice covers. Pokes it back deeper. Dufresne with it. Able to flip it out to relieve the heavy pressure by Boston that almost paid off on a goal. Carpenter trying to come back. Checked on the play. Corson stopped by Don Sweeney. Galley. Now to John Carter. He's been flying all night long and got the first goal of the game shorthanded. Drops it in as Mike Milbury makes a change. 2-1 Boston. And Carter almost had goal number 2 when Dufresne lost it and Roy couldn't cover. Poulin checking Richer. Matthew Schneider breaks it out. Long shot, saved Moog. Rebound outside the line, driven back by the Canadians. And they're calling a delayed offside, and Peterson able to work it up. And out. Burridge can't hang on. Smith. Schneider. Checked by Christian in the corner, fought for. Schneider comes out with it. But his clear out stopped by Peterson, not quite. Courtnall breaks in alone. Scores! Russ Courtnall broke by Alan Peterson. Roared in alone to tie the game at 2.
Well, with Russ Courtnall's speed, once this puck bounces loose, he sees it hopping and chopping. Al Peterson tries to bat it down. Courtnall picks it out of the air. Goes 5-hole on Moog.
And the Canadians trailing 2-0 have come back to tie it up here in the second period on a goal by Russ Courtnall. Lemieux is arguing something with Kerry Fraser. Hard to believe what that discussion can be about, but a big lift for the Canadians.
They wanted a timeout so Patrick Roy gets some water.
And Montreal has come back to tie it up on goals by Gilchrist and by Courtnall. 2-2. Galley and Wesley on defense. Up for prop, tipped into Patrick Roy. Back for it, Ludwig. McPhee, clear out block, picked up by Keane. Keane over the line for Carbonneau. He lost it. Galley trying to send Janney away, can't do it. Neely checking Carbonneau. Carbonneau gets it up to McPhee. McPhee to Keane. Keane ridden off. In deep, Wesley trying to get it. Behind the net, McPhee. Checked by Janney, broken up. But Carbonneau gets it. Now to Keane. Keane in front for McPhee. Shot to sea by Moog. McPhee was wide open. Chelios puts it in front. McPhee missed the net. Neely trying to come out. Stopped. Carbonneau with it. Blocked by Janney. Not cleared. Chelios now trying to move it in. It's knocked away by Wesley. Neely coming on Ludwig. Ludwig able to clear it out. Canadian Smith breaks with Lemieux. Smith puts it in front. Lemieux a shot. Great save by Andy Moog. There's Lemieux belting Don Sweeney. The two were entangled. And a face-off called. Big stop by Andy Moog. Second period, 2-2 at the Forum in Montreal. Kerry Fraser coming over. A timeout called by Mike Milbury. Here with 15:39 left in the second period. After the Courtnall goal. Even a bigger surge by the Montreal Canadiens. A total of 4 shots here in the second period. Courtnall on the break-in to tie it at 2. And Montreal taking over.
He almost tipped that one in front. He had 2 great chances. There's Bobby Smith going wide. Lemieux fires it up in the air. There's the slash. Watch the punch. He doesn't call the roughing or the slash.
And Mike Milbury, a conference with his players. Andy Moog over there, now going back in the net. The Bruins outplayed Montreal in the first period, as the shots indicate. But here now with that goal by Courtnall, it's the flying Montreal Canadiens.
It was almost like the Bruins, when they got the 2 goals, decided to try to button it down a little bit. They stopped skating somewhat, started thinking, and get a flow back here. You want to just start going with the puck, go for it, steal it.
Big stop, Moog on Svoboda. The Bruins break it out. In the center ice comes Christian. 3-on-2 for Burridge. Burridge checked, though, by Desjardins. Fought for behind the net. Smith takes over. Lemieux. Lemieux bumped by Bourque, broken up. Bourque clearing it out. And at the Canadian line, batted away to Smith. Smith over the line. Bourque after him. He puts it in front. Courtnall shot blocked by Moog. As Don Sweeney was moving in there too. But a big stop by Moog. It is Boston 2, Montreal 2 at the Forum in Montreal. Dave Poulin, shoulder injury, a nerve condition, but back in action after missing quite a bit of game 2, and very much needed by Boston. Skrudland against Carpenter now. Back for Chelios. Shot caught by Moog. Forced to play it after that penalty was called on him. And the Bruins, Carpenter, a lead now. Too far for Bob Sweeney. And around the boards, Bruins fight to keep it in. Carter and Carpenter, but the Canadians break it out. Corson looking for Richer. It was blocked by Wesley. Taken down. Canadians are offside here at the line. And once again, golf fans in Cape Cod, Sally Quinlan, Brookfield Hospital Charity Tournament, August 6th, Blue Rock. And LPGA players, 18 of them will be there. Pat Bradley last year, an outstanding star, and many others. A Pro-Am charity event. They raised $23,000 last year. Bob Miller, pro at
There'll
Blue
be
Rock.
a nice tournament, too, in Round Hill, the 22nd of June. Penguin Invitation. All the Bruins will be there. Roy Beckett's organizing that one. Anyone's interested on the Cape. Right here, a little sandwich. Taken down. Obviously, they're going to be offside. Very fortunate the puck squirted out. Sweeney took his man, but took Wesley in the same play.
The Boston line, Carpenter, Bob Sweeney on the right, John Carter on the left. With Wesley and Bork. Skrudland face off to Bork. Bork cuts in, a shift, cuts in deeper, and Fenn on the shot. Gets it now for its quick shot. Score by John Carter. And a 3-2 lead for Boston, set up by Ray Bork. John Carter.
Montreal Canadiens frozen there a little bit, standing still. Matthew Schneider, both 20 years old, with Desjardins back there, waiting for a forward to do something. Ray Bork freezes everybody with his puck handling ability. Great face-off from Carpenter to get it back to him. Bork then finds Carter. Upstairs again on Patrick Roy down. Very shaky tonight. He is not happy with that. And that was a big, big goal for the Bruins. You're in a 2-0 lead. And give up a couple of bouncing pucks in the net. Bang, tie ball game. You come back with that one, that third one. That's a big one.
First shot by Boston in the second period. John Carter, third of the series. And he has 2 tonight, 1 shorthanded. And the Canadiens break. Gilchrist. A shot deflected wide. Back is Bork. 2 men on him. He's able to clear it out. Back for the Canadiens. Schneider fell down. Just able to clear it away. The Bruins almost capitalized on that. And Ewan breaks with Desjardins. A lead too far. Wesley takes over. Wesley the clear out. 3-2 Boston. And this one touched somebody along the bench area. 13:52 left in the second period. The goal by John Carter and the assist to Ray Bork and Bob Carpenter at 5:20 of the second period after Courtnall from Schneider and Smith tied the game at 2.
John Carter should say hello to Carolyn Gray more often. Good luck charm tonight. Carter penetrating very well, skating hard. Turns on a dime. Patrick Roy second guessing himself out there. An excellent goalkeeper. Trying to regroup here.
Chelios rushes now as Boston has regained the lead. The drive in. Neely with it. And a quick clear out. Canadiens. Carbonneau drives it back in. Galley is on with Alan Peterson. Galley up the boards for Prop. Prop starts it away. Galley is on the move. Here's Neely. Neely over the line. Penetrates. They've been allowed to do that. All the way across. Looking for Janney. Janney forced to just clear it in for Prop. Prop trying to put it in front. Block. Janney, good play to keep it in front. Tip. And Prop couldn't put it on net. Forechecking Prop, but weaving out is Chelios to be broken up by Janney and Prop. Janney for Neely. Neely trying to put it on. Couldn't get control. Wheels it back for Janney. Janney puts it in front. Prop scores! Prop from Janney and Neely to make it 4-2 for Boston.
I don't know. Pat Burns is going to wait all night till he gets Brian Hayward in there. I don't know. Patrick Roy, just great hustle by the Bruins. Janney, Prop, and Neely just never quit on this puck. Janney kept it in once. Prop another time. Finding each other. Neely down low. There goes out front the poke check. Off the arm, Brian. Patrick Roy down on his knees again. Bruins ignoring the 5-hole and going upstairs on him. Patrick Roy somewhat confused.
Great hustling work by the line to set it up for the shot. Prop doesn't need too many, and he gets the goal from Janney and Neely, and the Bruins regain their 2-goal lead with 2 shots. Their first 2 in this period after the Canadiens had tied it. Shots of 12, Boston 10, Montreal. The Canadiens have 5 in the period. The goal by Courtnall will tie it, and the Bruins come back to take a 4-2 lead. Burridge checking the play, and Schneider starts it again. Schneider, a lead for Courtnall, breaking in again. Saved by Morgan. Is it offside? Sorry, couldn't hear the offside whistle, but Courtnall was flashing then. It is 4-2 Boston, second period at the Forum. Brian Hayward's going in the net, as you said, replacing Patrick Roy. 2 shots, 2 goals for the Boston Bruins. How about the timeout by Mike Norbert? What a piece of strategy.
An excellent, Fred. I mean, you say, what can he say to them in the timeout that's going to get them to regroup? I imagine Mike said, hey, boys, calm down. It's a 35-minute hockey game. It's 2-2. It isn't the end of the world. Don't get down on yourself. Don't press. Just start skating again. Start hustling again. Start double-teaming the puck. The Bruins did. Hard work paid off. 2 goals. In goes Brian Hayward.
At 5:20, John Carter's second goal of the night made it 3-2 from Ray Bourque and Bob Carpenter. At 6:58, Brian Propp from Craig Janney and Cam Neely. And Brian Hayward, not expected really to play at all in the series. It would be Patrick Roy till the end of time. And here the Bruins have driven Roy to cover with 4 goals on 12 shots.
I mean, we made an opening statement start of the game that Patrick Roy is not playing for job security. I don't know, you maybe question that.
Puck deflects to Ray Bourque. Bourque works it out to Bob Sweeney. Sweeney in the center ice. The Bruins, Carter breaks. 2 goals already, and this one is over the head of Hayward. Kept in by Sweeney. In for Carpenter. Carpenter avoids a hit, gives it to Bob Sweeney. A shot, save, rebound! And Carter almost had his hat trick. Spectacular by Hayward after the shot by Bob Sweeney. Short rebound, and John Carter almost hammered it home.
What a great save here by Brian Hayward. There's the save. That's the first one he gets to see. Carter just relaxed. If you notice, just a little bit to make sure he got wood on it, that he got it on net. He saw all open net, and in that hesitation to be sure that he was going to hit the net, Brian Hayward, only thing he had left was to recover with the glove, and in it went.
John Carter, a shorthanded goal. A goal set up by Ray Bourque. Brian Propp.
John Carter will get another chance.
And the faceoff coming up between Carpenter and Smith. 4-2 Boston, 8 minutes into period number 2. Chelios. Now to Lemieux. Breaks with Smith. The clear in. Wesley and Lemieux. Moog out to clear it up for Carpenter. Carpenter gives it off now for Wesley. A clear over the line in near Hayward. Fighting for it, Carter. Carpenter on the boards. They bang it around, keep possession. John Carter wheeling, gets it free. Now moves it in deep, looking for it. Bob Sweeney comes off the corner. Wesley breaking for the net. I can't get the pass, it was blocked. Bruins forechecking well. Chelios finally out for Courtnall. Courtnall, the speedster, breaks free for a backhander off the glove of Moog. Boy, they got to keep an eye on Courtnall. Here's a shot blocked on Lemieux with a great chance there, and diving to protect it now is Moog. The Canadians, of course, simply going all out. And the Boston Bruins are offering limited playoff edition Ray Bourque, Cam Neely, Andy Moog t-shirts and sweatshirts. The 100% cotton t-shirts cost $14.95. The heavyweight sweatshirts are $24. Order now by calling 1-800-344-PLAY. All orders will be shipped within 72 hours. And
that could be memorabilia down the road.
Derek is saving up for that sweatshirt.
Yeah?
You haven't made it yet, have you? Not enough money?
Not enough. I figure I beat you at golf. Maybe I can get a few shekels for gas in the sweatshirt.
Not at 5 aside. No way. 11-12 left here. Face off, and the shot goes wide by the Canadians. Keane. Bruins trying to chop it out. Can't do it. Still free, and with it, Keane. Closing. Shot blocked by Moog. Galley after it. Trying to clear it out. Does.
Canadians going all out here offensively. But to go to defensive puck handling move somewhere, somebody springs somebody loose. They're even sending point man in way deep. One in on the play, second man high.
Score 4-2 Boston, second period at the Forum in Montreal.
It gone. I mean, there's still a little bit of life left in both players as Nick Kyprios stands up the ring.
Svoboda turns around.
couldn't put good wood on the backhand. He walked in front. Skrudland now able to get it free to Svoboda. The Bruins forechecked, and Christian tied up Svoboda. Now Desjardins will try the other side. The Bruins right after him. The clear out blocked, and Boston gets it. Burridge can't cut in. Loose puck popped in by Ray Bourque wide of Brian Hayward. Hayward replaced Roy in the second period. A lead in for Skrudland. They say onside. Puts it in front. Moog is bumped as he picks it off halfway through the game. 4-2 Boston at the Forum in Montreal.
Bob, this is just Randy Moeller. A little extra push after Richter makes the save. It's just a 5-1 game frustration.
Into the draw against Carbonneau. Very good on him, Guy Carbonneau.
Christian wins it for Don Sweeney. And this one deflected into the stands, and a face-off in the Boston zone again. Have to realize how impressive that save on Carter and prior to that Sweeney by Brian Hayward, because in there's no warmer.
None.
And mentally, he all along would just gear himself, I'll never see action at all.
Now he's got to regroup himself. He's wandering back and forth in the crease, pumping himself up here, no doubt in my mind. He's got to focus. Saw him in practice this morning, and he was skating hard. Extra work the other day, just trying to stay in shape for this.
And now thrust into the game, and Boston leads 4-2. 9:56 left here, period number 2. Canadians out shooting Boston in this period 9-4. But the first two shots by Boston beat Roy. In the corner, McPhee, Christian. Christian digs it free. Dave Christian up to Prop. Bourque, good pass there. Bourque breaks over the line, closing. Drops it for Don Sweeney. Couldn't get it. And back to cover now is Janney. Janney up for Neely. Neely lost it. And Schneider starting away. Checked by Prop. Broken up by Prop. Prop able to keep it in. Trying to set up Neely. Can't do it. And McPhee breaks it out. Clears it in. Near Moog. Drops it for Galley. Galley, a lead for Prop. Good play by Prop. Up for Janney. Janney over the line with Neely. A shot. Save. Neely, the rebound. Prop on the loose puck, and the net knocked loose. And the Bruins can capitalize on this young defense, and they almost had another payoff goal there. They're able to penetrate and move in. As the Canadians are going, well, they have Chelios out there with Schneider. They're not carrying the two 20-year-olders.
But tenacious checking.
Now they're trying to draw Neely
by
into
Brian
something.
Prop. Now Cam kind of got at Chelios. Right there, Cam goes to the crossbar. Right there, the shot hits. Now watch Neely go for the rebound. There's the push into the net. Neely doesn't react quickly. He thinks it was Chelios. It was Schneider that shoved him into the post. Well, keep your head up out there, boys.
The Bruins have had two power plays. Montreal won, and Boston capitalized on the Montreal power play as John Carter scored a shorthanded goal to put the Bruins on the board. 2 goals by the 7th player award winner, John Carter. Plus 17 this season with the Boston Bruins. Second best on the team on the plus-minus rating. And he has been skating and flashing. Janney out there with Prop and Neely.
What Carter has really learned to do well, not only he's always been able to penetrate, and I think it was a matter of confidence with John, to hold on, to be tenacious, hold on to that puck and look for a play, and then he buys himself time with his speed, and he can turn on a dime, and then next thing you know, he's in good position to shoot, and he's starting to pull the trigger more often. And now, few pucks in the net for you, they start to feel good.
Janney has some sort of a problem. Jim Narrigan is attending to him, and Carpenter replaced him on the line with Prop and Neely. Bruins forecheck, but McPhee breaks it out. For Keane too far ahead of him. Wesley skates it free. In the center ice. Up for Neely. Neely for Carpenter. Unloads. Deflected by Schneider. Just got a piece of it into the stands. The Bruins skating well and very fluidly and working it out. And Wesley, we're looking at Janney being treated for some sort of a
facial.
problem.
And got what he may be worried about. He got cut over the eye, whether it needs stitches or not.
Well, when the blood is flowing into your eye, I don't know what the incident was. He was high-sticked earlier by Keene, and you certainly can't play out there.
What they're trying to do is put on what they call a butterfly. That's it right there in Narragan's hand. Instead of going in for stitches, it's just maybe a puncture wound and stop the bleeding. Get it stitched between periods.
Gilchrist starts it out. Checked by Carpenter and broken up by Galley. Follow up by Svoboda. Gains the line, holds it. Broken up now and knocked away before he can make a pass or a shot. Ludwig fires in. Moog blocks it for Wesley. Wesley showing great speed in moving the puck out of the zone, but not this time. The pass around kept in by Walter for Ewan. Ewan handed it to Carpenter. Carpenter skates to the open. Gains the line. Drops it for Carter. And is shot wide. Bob Sweeney is at right wing on this line. Galley breaks it up. Pass bounces now for Ray Bourque. Galley back for Bourque. 4-2 Boston, second period. Bruins checking well. Losing it now. Carter is taken down. Shaken up. Is he cut? Yeah, there's a high stick. Gilchrist and Carter is shaken up. And we're going to look at what happened here as the Bruins moved it over the line. John Carter, who has scored 2 goals. Here is Gilchrist going for high sticking.
Well, he's just going to get 2.
It will be the third power play
He'd
for
have been
Boston.
banished.
With the score, Boston 4, Montreal 2, back in a moment. Third power play, Boston. Goal scoring, John Carter, 1 shorthanded, 1 even strength. Ray Bourque, Brian Propp, the other scores. Janney is okay, back in action. He's on the faceoff with Carbonneau. Wesley and Bourque play the points. 7:51 left in the second period.
Andy Moe's got to feel good. Patrick Roy opened his mouth and knocked him, and he's still in the game. Patrick Roy having his troubles after commenting on Moog's shutout being lucky.
Ray Bourque lost it to Carbonneau behind the net. Now checks it, and Janney covers. Janney gets it away for Wesley to Clarion. Power play, Boston. Hayward trying to knock it out. Stopped by Janney. Kept in. Neely drops it. Ray Bourque over to Wesley, left point. Back for Bourque. Bourque shot in. Save Hayward. Big chance there. Low and hard by Ray Bourque, who has scored one of the Bruins' goals. Set up Carter for a go-ahead goal after Courtnall had tied it at 2. Propp broken up. Keene coming back. Broken up by Bourque, who just dove. What a play by Raymond Bourque. Neely over the line. Can't move in. Back for Bourque. Over to Wesley. Wesley to Neely. Neely's pass is blocked by Keene and Carbonneau. Able to clear it out, and Carbonneau takes a hit from Neely. Doesn't like it. Over on the boards. 50 seconds left on the power play for Boston. Bourque for Wesley. Can't move in. Skrudland loses to Burridge. Burridge can't move in. Stopped by Chelios. Held by Neely. Let's see if there's a call. There is none.
No call.
Neely held him. Back comes Burridge. Over the line. Burridge with Janney. Gives it to Janney. Janney goes behind the net. Checked. Galley in. Puts it in front. Burridge missed it. Shot. Score by Don Sweeney. A power play goal with 20 seconds left on the power play. Boston leads 5-2.
Cam Neely's just got so many Montreal Canadiens upset with him, saying one complimentary remark after another.
Don Sweeney the score on a power play to make it 5-2 with 6:11 left here in the second period. The fans wanted a holding call on Cam Neely. Burridge missed it, but watch Don Sweeney.
Here's the screen. Brian Hayward just does not get to see this. That's just good shot by Sweeney and a screen. Hayward's going, what do you want from me?
And it is 5-2 for Boston. Ray Bourque and Don Sweeney, defensemen, have scored goals. 2 by John Carter and 1 by Brian Propp. And they are booing Frazier.
Right now, Kerry Frazier over to the Montreal bench. Talking to Jacques Laperriere. I don't want any more of this nonsense. Don't creating any scenes. Don't you embarrass me or somebody's going.
He did not talk to Burns. He talked to the assistant coach.
Well, I doubt very much if Pat Burns would talk to him at this point anyway.
And Al Lemieux rushing. Broken up.
Great
Dufresne.
tussle by Carter.
Fires it in around the boards. Don Sweeney trying to clear it out. And a whistle here. What?
Don Sweeney and Lemieux.
And here Mike Milbury behind the bench. A look at the Montreal Forum. They're planning a new one. They're planning a new Boston Garden Corporation. Larry Moulter gave us a preview of the executive suites. It's set up at Merrimack Street, and corporation executives should call the new Boston Garden Corporation and take a look at it. 14 seats in each executive suite.
And they've had, I thought they had some that were 20 seats as well. It's unbelievable luxury to watch a game. Valet parking, private access, concessions. Like having a little apartment up there. It's called 277-1755. We'll get you a look at them.
Now Dufresne rushing. 5-2 Boston. He's stopped by Don Sweeney. Galley gets it free to stopped by Bob Sweeney. Don Sweeney clears it out now. Wrapped in by Bob Smith. Back first, Don Sweeney. Around the boards, he's able to clear it out.
Good hustle there by Sweeney.
Svoboda now for Montreal. 5-2 Boston on that goal by Don Sweeney. Bob Smith, pass up, blocked. Knocked away by Galley. Galley to Carpenter. Carpenter over the line, drops it. Bob Sweeney, a shot, deflected just wide. Kept in by Carpenter to Carter. Carter checked behind the net. Svoboda starts it out for Montreal. 5 minutes left, second period, 5-2 Boston. Again, Bork breaks it up. All alone, Burridge coming in alone. Stopped by Hayward. Oh, a big opportunity. They caught a line change, and Burridge walked in. Backhanded there. Here comes Smith back. Passes blocked in front by Wesley to Poulin. That's Peterson to Poulin. Over the line, Poulin holding. Now for Peterson. Shot! Deflected wide by Hayward. Great stop there as the Bruins had a chance. Alan Peterson with the opportunity. Around the boards, it is Wesley trying to keep it in. Does. To Burridge. Burridge gets it across for Christian. Christian puts it in front. Hayward covers up. The Bruins all over the Canadians here. It is Boston 5, Montreal 2 in the second period at the Forum. .13:49, Don Sweeney from Randy Burridge and Gary Galley, the power play goal for a 5-2 lead, and Burridge on a break-in stopped by Hayward.
And Poulin to Peterson in the slot for a great effort.
4:23 left in the second period, 5-2 Boston. Prop Chelios, a battle. Chelios gets it. Pass blocked by Janney. Steele trying to set it in front for Prop, who was open, couldn't do it. Back to Bork on the boards. Backhands it in, stopped by Chelios. Now to Richer. His pass blocked by Janney. Prop trying to move with it, can't do it. Chelios starting back for Skrudland. Broken up by Ray Bork. Bork with Janney. Bork over the line. Holds. Shot. Blocked. Prop with it. Now to Janney behind the net. In front. Oh, Neely couldn't quite reach it. Knocked down on the play. Prop keeps it in. Neely behind the net is hauled down. Kicks it free into the corner. Chelios trying to come out. Stopped by Janney. Janney's pass blocked, and Corson starts out. Picking up Skrudland. Drop pass, blocked. Skrudland trying to move with it, can't. Carter and Richer into the corner. Wesley, Skrudland, Corson. Intercepted now. Janney gets it to Neely, who has lost his helmet. And they want a line change as the Canadians rush. Svoboda over the line. Along the line, holding. Drives it in deep. Courtnall there. Courtnall in for Smith. Smith in front for Courtnall. Back pass, and it's Oh, Courtnall walked in, could have shot, elected to pass.
Broken up by Glenn Wesley.
2:40 left. Great chance. Bob Sweeney forechecking on the play on Svoboda. Dufresne clears it out. Alan Peterson there. Pass blocked. Over the line. Fought for. Carpenter can't get it. Svoboda has it. Now to Courtnall. He's been the flash for the Canadians. This one stopped by Burridge back checking. Now to Bob Sweeney and cleared in. And Mike Milbury makes a change. 2:15 left. Second period. 5-2 Boston. Courtnall has never quit. His pass up stopped by Poulin and wheeled right back in. Canadians 10 shots, Boston 7. Here's a steal. Christian cuts back. Shot blocked. Peterson to Christian now. Shot. Great save. Hayward saved the day on Christian. Lemieux trying to come out. Blocked by Poulin and fed back in. Bruins with 9 shots. 5-2 Boston. Keane, or rather Lemieux, breaks. Over the line. Ridden off. Puck loose. Rolls into Andy Moog, and he covers up with 1:34 left in the second period.
Great shift there by Poulin and Christian.
Back to our Boston studio. Find out what Gene Levanchi will have for us in tonight's second intermission.
Okay, Fred, thank you very much. The New York Rangers and Washington Capitals are battling for the lead in the Patrick Division Final, and coming up between the second and third periods tonight, we'll check the highlights to see how the game's progressing. We'll hear more from our special analyst, Terry O'Reilly, and Fred and Derek will offer their comments on tonight's Game 3. Right now, though, let's return you to the Forum in Montreal.
John Carter has 2 goals, started the scoring shorthanded, then Ray Bourque made it 2-0. Gilchrist in the first period made it 2-1. Courtnall tied it up at 3:10. Timeout by Mike Milbury. Bruins regrouped. Next 2 shots went in. John Carter and Brian Propp. And then on the power play, Don Sweeney. 1:34 left here in the second period. Boston 5 and Montreal 2. Carbonneau out there with Keane and McPhee. Dave Poulin. One for Chelios. Screen shot blocked. Ludwig drills it. Blocked by Moog. Blocked again on the bid by Carbonneau. And the Bruins ice it. Heavy pressure after that faceoff was won by Carbonneau with 1:19 left. And a couple of big saves by Andy Moog on dangerous shots by the Montreal Canadiens.
Dave Christian may take this draw this time.
It is almost imperative that the Bruins maintain the 3-goal lead just for their state of mind going into the third period. If the Canadians score here with 1:19 left,
you certainly don't want to give him any breath of life. And at this point, you've got 3 guys out there that are very good on faceoffs. Poulin, Christian, and Carpenter. If Poulin could get Carbonneau thrown out, would be good.
Poulin gets this one back. Block goes to Carpenter. Carpenter skates it out. Coming down Ludwig. Lex to shoot. Saved by Hayward. Chelios winding up. He's on the fence with Ludwig. Long lead pass stopped by Ray Bourque. Ludwig now gets it. Puck cleared in. Wide. Could be icing. No, Keane got there. Wait a minute.
No.
Let's see what they call.
Good.
Icing.
Heads-up play by Andy Moog. Took an awful chance.
Figured it would be icing. Keane hustled after it, but Boston touched it first. 54 seconds left in the second period. And the face-off now to the left of Brian Hayward. He has kept things close.
Believe me, when you're a defenseman and you've got 2 big guys in your license plates breathing down your neck, you certainly want your goalkeeper heads up, make the right play. You depend on them so much. You're going, full speed into the end boards. Your goaltender can help you at all. That's what you love him for it. And in that situation, Andy Moog looked up, read the play properly. Would have been a 2-line offside as well if the Canadians touched it.
Neely on the faceoff with Carbonneau. And he gets the possession. Great faceoff work. In deep for Gould. Gould puts it in front, knocked away. Carpenter trying to jam it home. Couldn't do it. 40 seconds left in the period. Svoboda trying to come out. Checked by Carpenter. Kept in by Gould. Gould trying to make a play. Pass up, stopped by Svoboda. Down to 30 seconds in the period. On the other side, Neely lets it go to Galley. Galley fires, deflected by Carpenter wide. The rebound is taken by Dufresne. Now Carbonneau out for Walter. Stopped by Galley. Picked up by Dufresne. Trying to move in. Broken up by the Bruins. 12 seconds left. Desjardins, the clear in. They say icing maybe. No. And around the boards, Dufresne, a shot. Blocked wide. 2 seconds left. That's it. The Bruins, after seeing 5-2 Boston after 2 periods of play. I'm sure Dave Poulin is reminding the Boston Bruins of that Hartford series and that crucial Hartford game when the Whalers had a 3-goal lead.
I think Mike Milbury is going to have something to say about it, too. I think they're very conscious of what they're doing. This is not a hockey club that picks on each other, or, you know, they're not arrogant, they're not cocky. They're kind of, they're confident, and they're patient, they're disciplined. On 5 occasions tonight, the Montreal Canadiens punched someone in the face or high-sticked them or speared or did something chippy, and the Bruins looked around, got no call, just shook their head, got back in the play. And it takes a lot of heart and a lot of courage to do that. Your ego as an athlete tells you to respond. Don't push me around, and you get in a fight, and boom, the next thing you know, you get the other team involved in the game. They get up for it, and the Bruins, I think, are really very disciplined, and they're really showing a lot of class.
If Boston posts the victory, turning point, 2-2 the score, and Russ Courtnall, a great play to tie it up at 2 early in the second period. Then a couple of flurries by the Canadiens. They really were all over the Boston Bruins. Timeout, Mike Milbury. And what a crucial moment to call it. Other coaches always wait until 30 seconds left in the game.
He takes every edge that he can get, and Milbury, you know, I said, well, you know, I never thought of it. If I was behind the bench, I never thought about it at all. What a great time to call a timeout. You know, if I was there, I'd have got yelling at who was in front of me. But he regrouped the guys, said, hey, listen, keep skating, do what you do best. They responded to it, and had 3 quick goals, and then there you have it.
And one further note on Mike Milbury. He had a bus take the team to practice. They stayed as a group. They came back in the bus. They ate lunch together. He is focusing on this game and this series.
Well, he's giving them the royal treatment. Usually 3 or 4 guys get in a cab and go over, some will walk. Mike says, okay, boys, regroup, stay together, we'll win this together.
Back on the blue line. And I think they were counting an awful lot on Patrick Roy, and he's just not there. I think the Bruins have gotten to him. You can see his confidence is shattered, and the first sign of that is when a goalie starts to drop and butterfly, and that's what he's doing, and the Bruins are answering with shots that are just 6 to 8 inches high and up, because they have to clear that layer of padding, and there's a lot of holes after that.
Okay, what do you get for us now from the second period?
Well, Mike called a perfect timeout. He's done that very well all year long, and after Montreal tied it up 2-2, and what he did was settle the players down and say, hey, we can't finish this game on, you know, it's a brand new game, tied up, let's go back on the attack. And the Bruins started forechecking. It starts with a face-off in the Montreal end. With a win, Bobby Carpenter gets it back to Ray. Now, what we've got here is 2 perfect picks. We've got Johnny Carter picking Shane Corson. Ray's got the option of going in along the boards and penetrating, or making a pass back to Glenn Wesley. He opts to move in along, and he's got a second pick as we roll along. He's got a second pick, Bobby Carpenter. Gives him more time so that he can penetrate deeper. Now, once Ray gets in here, he's got all the Montreal Canadian players looking in. They're staring at the puck. And what he's going to do as we move along again, he tries a quick shot, misses his shot. Now he's looking for a pass. As Johnny Carter was checking Shane Corson should now be checking Johnny Carter. He should be locking up Johnny Carter. Ray is looking for somebody out in front of the Montreal net as we move along. And there's Johnny Carter free. Just a little too much time. Shane Corson should have had him tied up. If you remember back when the face-off was won, Johnny Carter had him locked up tight. And that's the way Shane Corson should have had. He should have been right over there on him and taken that pass away from Ray in the corner. Again, you can see Roy dropped. As soon as Johnny Carter got the puck, we're coming out of the corner here. It's going to go back to John. Watch Roy drop to his knees. He's butterflying every time a shot is coming on him. If you clear it, if you get it up over 6 or 8 inches along the bottom of that net, there's an awful lot of holes up here. And if you do shoot along the ice in the middle, you've got a chance between his pads. So there are just too many holes. His confidence is gone. And I think that puck went off this post, and that is the third post that John Carter has hit in the last 2 games. He is on with his shot. He's quick, and he's got a good shot, a quick release. And this goal starts with a turnover. Craig Janney is just a specialist at picking off passes. Chris Chelios was trying to move it up. Anytime a veteran defenseman like that turns the puck over inside your own blue line, you're going to be scrambling. Now the forwards who were thinking they were on an attack, you've got 3 forwards expecting a pass up. All of a sudden, they have to get back and help out with the defense. And when you have, we can move along a little bit, when you have Brian Propp, Cam Neely, and Craig Janney moving that puck back and forth, you're in a lot of trouble. Yeah. And again, watch the puck. Cam makes a nice pass back behind the net to Craig Janney, and he's a master. He's just like Gretzky when he gets behind the net. He's going to get that pass out. His line mates know it. Brian Propp, a very veteran player, takes it on his skate. And again, all he wanted to do was clear that pad. He saw Roy going down. All he wanted to do was release it quickly and get it up in the air. He got it up about 1.5 feet, 2 feet in the air. And again, there were big holes there.
All right, Terry, some good stuff. We appreciate it. We will talk with you again at the end of tonight's game, so we will see you then. We're set right now for the start of the 3rd period of play from the Forum in Montreal, so we return you there now with Fred and Derek.
Thank you, Gene and Terry O'Reilly, and 5-2 Boston as we start the 3rd period. You can't sit back on this. Montreal's going to be going all out. There'll be breakaways. You really should capitalize on them.
What the Bruins really learned was they came out flying in the first period to negate Montreal. We had talked earlier, about that. What they did is they came out with such an effort. They got a 2-goal lead, and from that 2-goal lead, they started to sit on it a little bit. And a couple of bouncing pucks, and boom, it's a 2-2 game. They've learned that once already tonight. So they're gonna. What's got them here is keep going with it.
Best player for Montreal, Ross Courtnall at right wing. What a trade with Toronto. He's picked up for John Kordic. Poulin out there with Christian and Burridge, Wesley and Bork starting. And rushing Svoboda. Fires it in. Moog blocking it for Bork. Bork around the boards, and Courtnall puts it in front. Rolls across on the other side. Bork gets it up and out. Everybody up for Montreal, and Lemieux is caught inside the line, and this is an offside play. That was Svoboda leading the rush. They have to abandon. They're calling a deliberate offside here.
Deliberate. Well, Claude Lemieux reached out and gloved it with his hand in frustration.
Face off now to the right of Hayward. And quick changes by Mike Milbury.
Well, he wanted to see a little bit, some kind of 3rd period philosophy of Pat Burns. This tells you he's still going to keep his checking line. Carbonneau and Keane, and Janney and Neely.
Brian Propp has one of the goals. John Carter with 2.
Well, he's opted for Mike McPhee. That would have been a change. That got me confused. Keane went out when he wasn't supposed to.
And McPhee into center ice now with Courtnall. McPhee gets it back, cuts, shoots, save. Andy Moog. Good rush by McPhee. In deep. It is Chelios, but Wesley able to get it around. Not out. Finally cleared out by Neely. Propp right on Chelios, and McPhee winding up. Now to Courtnall. To Carbonneau. Broken up by Neely. Carbonneau lost the stick, and Janney breaks. Janney now to Propp, over to Ray Bork. Bork, pass up, stopped by Chelios. Bruins change up on defense. Chelios check, gets it over the line though. Rolls it in deep. Carbonneau going, puts it in front. Knocked away on the right wing side for Neely. Neely to Janney. Janney rolls it in as Mike Milbury making quick changes. Less than a minute. The shifts. 5-2 Boston, 3rd period. Ludwig. Long pass up, and Galley knocks it away.
No icing. Line change.
Winding up is Chelios now. Carpenter is out there. Galley and Don Sweeney on defense. Don Sweeney first goal, the power play. Svoboda over the line. Checked on the play by Galley. Beautiful coverage. And Carter gets it out to Carpenter. Carpenter wraps it in. Peterson on defense with Raymond Bourque. Canadians. Richer. Oh, just missed wide. Behind the net, Skrudland. Checked by Bourque. Up the boards goes to Carpenter. He is checked by Schneider. Wrapped around the other side and out as the Canadians were changing up. Christian forechecking on the play. Trying to tie it up. Breaks up Schneider, but Poulin in on Svoboda. Poulin in on Schneider. In the Canadian zone. They're trying to come out. 5-2 Boston. Bruins break it up. Christians now stop, and the Canadians break. Coming is Gilchrist. Screen shot saved by Moog. The rebound, Ray Bourque. Bourque clearing. And this is icing. The score, Boston 5, Montreal 2. Will return in just a moment.
He's done that as well. So
Poulin and Gilchrist. Poulin wins it behind the net. Moog into the corner. Ewan goes for it. Burridge taken down. Wesley with it. Tries the other side. Ludwig moves in deep. Everybody up for the Canadians. Ewan trying to put it in front. Check. Gets it again. Has it in the corner. Now to Walter behind the net. Checked by Wesley. They battle. Now Gilchrist and Galley in there. Behind the net. Off to the left of Moog. Nobody can get a handle to it. No whistle. Galley finally does and drops it out. Canadians. Gilchrist failed to wait for Walter to clear.
Dave Poulin was right on top of him. He wanted to delay another stride, but Poulin was there. Heads up play by Poulin. Knew he couldn't go anywhere. Still had his man covered and was looking to steal the puck.
16:37 left in the third period. 5-2 Boston. Our producer for TV 38 from the Forum in Montreal, Ken London. And John Crowder with 2 goals. Ray Bourque a goal and an assist. Brian Propp a goal and an assist. Cam Neely with 2 assists. Janney, Neely, and Propp the line. Carbonneau with Courtnall and McPhee. So line change, of course, by Pat Burns. It is wrapped in by Chelios. Bourque there. Courtnall after him. In front of the net. He pokes it off to Don Sweeney. And the Bruins trying to clear it out. Propp can't. Shot in. Carbonneau's blocked by Bourque. To Neely. Neely breaking right wing side. Trying to move in. Can't do it. Janney now passes across for Don Sweeney. He wraps it in. Wide of Brian Hayward, who replaced Patrick Roy in the Montreal goal in the second period when the Bruins took a 5-2 lead. In front, Janney one-timed it, and it was blocked by Chelios. Janney able to keep it in. Has Propp free. In. It is blocked in front by Ludwig, who just covered in front of Propp, who was behind him. Canadians trying to work it out. Wave off the icing as Don Sweeney is back. Sweeney to Carpenter. 5-2 Boston. Carpenter head faking into center ice. Stick handling beautifully. And firing one in on Brian Hayward. 4.5 minutes played. In deep, Carter. Carter off to the boards. Checked there. Galley trying to keep it in. It floats out. Taken by Peterson. Wrapped back in by Boston. Canadians tied it up early in the second period. Russ Courtnall at 2-2, and then the Bruins with 3 unanswered goals. Smith rushing deep. Puts it in front. That's knocked away by Moog. Follow up by Desjardins. Blocked. Turnaround shot. Blocked by Galley. Galley clears it for Carter. Carter trying to break away from Desjardins. Oh, mauled. And a penalty on Desjardins. Holding. A power play for Boston. Boston 5 and Montreal 2. We'll be back in a moment. Fourth power play, Boston. Desjardins is off. Not much of an argument about it. Carter would have been in alone. He had a step or two on the 20-year-old defenseman.
what he's got is when he had to make the turnaround, that was Desjardins had the jump on him. He hasn't been skating at all. Now Desjardins knows Carter's fast. Doesn't want him to poke it up and then outrace him to the puck, so hauls him down. John took a nice little pirouette there for Kerry Frazier's benefit. Pat Burns not too happy with the way things are going.
Mike Milbury going with the 4 forwards. Janney is out there. In the Neely. Neely Steals it, puts it for Prop. Prop plays it back for Janney. Janney to Bork. Back for Janney. To Bork, they're the point men. Keene watching Bork in for Neely, all the way across for Janney. Janney stick handling, broken up by Ludwig. Can't clear it. Checked by Prop. Goes behind the net. Christian to Neely. Neely forced to the corner, gets it to Bork. Bork holds it away. Carbonneau watching him. Power play Boston, they're fourth. They're 1 for 3. In for Neely, all the way to Janney. Janney in front. Christian couldn't put it in the empty net by Hayward. Quick pass from Janney. Back for Bork. Bork to Prop now. Leaves it for Janney. Janney trying to move away from Prop. Carbonneau watching him. Janney holding. Fakes. Looks for Christian. Bork, a shot. Save. The rebound. Bork blistered that one, and Hayward made a good stop. Keene able to clear it. 13:50 left, third period. 5-2 Boston. Bork for Neely. Neely double teamed. Fell down. And Galley with it. Against Corson, who's a penalty killer. And Skrudland. Bork up for Burridge. Burridge for Bob Sweeney. In deep. Wrapped around for Poulin. Back for Burridge. Bob Sweeney, he is covered. Fights for it behind the net. Skrudland there. Wesley and Galley are the point men. Puck free. Poulin with it. On the boards to Galley, right point. Galley cracks it back in. Wesley it is on that side. Galley is over on the other side. 9 seconds left on the power play. Wesley holding. Cross for Galley. Galley puts it for Burridge. Backhander. Hayward, a glove save as he went down on Burridge. 1 second left on the power play. Big stop, Brian Hayward.
Brian Hayward's caught 2 like that. One on John Carter, now Randy Burridge. Those are desperation saves. You don't keep making those all night. He's just down and out. Randy Burridge just never got it high enough. There's a play across right there. Gets it up. Brian Hayward.
Good power play by Boston. Nothing conservative. Kept the play in and kept the movement on. With primarily Janney when he was out there as a point man.
Well, I like that back there. It gets over. There is that gamble you're taking. Janney should get beat back there. He's not going to catch anybody, but I tell you, Craig Janney back there, it certainly gives him an awful lot of room to operate.
Gould on the draw. Galley able to keep it in for Poulin. Poulin now for Burridge. Shot! Save again. Burridge could have a hat trick against Hayward.
Yes, he could.
Montreal clears. Icing. Montreal has had 1 power play when Andy Moog was called for delay of game. 5-2 Boston, third period at the Forum in Montreal. Montreal at full strength. 12:40 left, third period. 5-2 Boston. Poulin out there with Burridge and Gould on the right wing side. Ray Bork with Don Sweeney. Boston's had 4 power plays and 1 power play goal by Don Sweeney. The Canadians 0 for 1. Skrudland and Poulin on the boards. Knocked in deep. Svoboda winding up. Poulin breaks him up before he can move out with that sweet check of his. That's sweet as in sweet. Poulin keeps it in. Gould was knocked down. In deep, Desjardins, Skrudland, and what a model of defensive play. Forechecking by Dave Poulin.
Got the stick down. That was the key there. He swung deep, in, curled out. Got the stick down in time to stop that pass out by Svoboda. Svoboda's not hustling to the puck. That's what made that play possible.
Almost 8 minutes played in the third period. The face-off to the right of Patrick Roy. And again, it is Poulin.
A lot of talk in the papers around here about Pat Burns not playing the very, very offensive Stéphane Lebeau instead of Todd Hewen.
Don Sweeney, a shot! Hit the post, rebound, Poulin the score! 6-2 Boston as Dave Poulin put in the rebound of a Don Sweeney shot.
There's Johnny on the spot. Be the right man in the right place. Pat Burns, at this point, I don't know if he wants to change the lines, just maybe send some more out there.
Dave Poulin.
Right here, Drago's back. Don Sweeney one-times it. Hayward misses it. Poulin right there. Scoops it up. He scores a lot of goals.
Dave Poulin, number 6. And Boston leads 6-2. And that was a matter of face-off wins.
Yes, I was going to finish that thought. He scores a lot of goals in close. In the goal crease. The Canadian faithful are leaving the Forum.
Boston leads 6-2 now. Puck back in the Boston end. Raymond Bourque back. Cleared it around for John Carter. Carter ready for the hit by Richer. The puck cleared out. A break for Boston. 2-on-1. Ludwig back. Gould 3-on-1. For Gould. Shot. Save. Gould gets the rebound and keeps it in. Don Sweeney came up. That was a 3-on-1. Bruins break it up again. Carter. Carpenter. Quick shot just wide of Hayward. Gould keeps it in. 6-2 Boston. In the center ice, Peterson breaks it up, and Galley wraps it back in. Poulin from Don Sweeney and Burridge at 7:48. A long clear all the way down to Andy Moog, and back for it, Gary Galley. Galley for Gould. Peterson. Up in the center ice, trying to break with it. Bob Sweeney can't do it. Over on the boards, the clear in by Gilchrist, and Montreal is offside. Boston 6, Montreal 2, 11:07 left in the third period at the Forum.
Those seats prior to the game were going for scalped at $700 a pair. Empty now. I don't imagine if you paid the $700 though you'd leave.
9 minutes into the third period. I've been covering a lot of these games through the years. I've never seen that, Derek.
No, they don't leave here.
Bob Sweeney going deep. He is hit hard by Dufresne and knocked down behind the net. Schneider starts it back with Smith. Smith over the line, broken up. Courtnall checked by Bob Sweeney, winding up. He's been the best player for Montreal. Dufresne fires in. Back for it, Bob Sweeney. Lost it to Bob Smith, to Courtnall. Now Dufresne. Shot and a save by Moog. He knocks it free. Courtnall checked by Neely. In the corner, the Bruins want to change or get the puck out of the zone. Can't do it. Schneider kept it in. Pass in front, knocked away by Bourque. Takes Smith deep. Bob Sweeney there. Goes loose for Neely. Neely able to carry it out. Roll it all the way down to Hayward. 9:55 left, third period. 6-2 Boston. 2 goals by John Carter, 1 shorthanded. And he's forechecking now. Gould is out there too. Corson moves it over the line. Gould checking Skrudland. It's back for Corson. Corson in deep. Checked by Bourque. Trying to put it in front. Checked by Bourque. And Bourque skates out with it. Clears it off Carter's stick. Svoboda winding up. Force back on the play. Now rushing Desjardins. Looking for Skrudland. It rolls to Moog. Moog out of the net. Clears it up for Gould. Gould pops it out. Desjardins back for it. He's on defense with Svoboda. Keene's pass blocked by Gould. Superb defensive player. Carter avoids a hit. Trying to work it in. Check. Gould fights for it behind the net, and it rolls around for Desjardins. Corson coming out. Broken up by Gary Galley on the pass, intended for Carbonneau. Controlling now, Christian. Now to Don Sweeney, who scored a goal on a power play. Canadians trying to come out. Canadians with just 2 shots in this period. Christian trying to break now with Burridge. Off for Burridge. Block. Christian gets it. Christian in. Tried to feed Burridge again. But it didn't work. Goes to the boards. Poulin backing up, and the puck rolls to Bob Beers, who has not played that much in the game. 8:10 left, third period. 6-2 the Bruins. Chelios to Gilchrist. Ooh, he took a hit. Carbonneau gets it, puts it in front, but it rolls to the boards, and skated off by Christian. Christian trying to break in on Ludwig. It rolls in. Hayward knocks it away. And up on the left wing side comes Walter. Walter moving with Smith. They combine. Walter cutting in for a backhander that went wide. Walter able to get it off the backboards. Checked by Burridge. In deep. Sweeney trying to get it, but Smith has it. Smith, Schneider, pass across. Blocked. Kept in by Dufresne. Great stop by Andy Moog. Right pad on Dufresne. Gilchrist with it. His pass finally blocked. And Bob Sweeney works it out. Clears it in as Boston changes up. 7:15 left in the third period. 6-2 Boston. The Canadians tied it up 2-2 early in the second period. And Boston came back with 3. Gould trying to break, can't. Neely kicks it ahead. And Dufresne fires it out. Bork to Don Sweeney. This will be icing against the Bruins. With the score, Boston 6 and Montreal 2. Will return in a moment. 4 between the Bruins and the Canadians. Same team, same time, same channel. The Bruins, Canadians, game 4 Wednesday night at 7:30 on TV 38. 6:52 left, third period. 6-2 Boston. The Bruins 6 shots in the third period. The Canadians with 3, and the Bruins have scored on 1. That by Dave Poulin.
Well, the fans getting a little unruly here. A tomato's already been thrown. That was a tennis ball went through the face-off.
Desjardins is out there with Svoboda. Smith on the face-off with Christian. Draw. Lemieux puts it in front. Blocked. Loose. Poked away. And Neely has it. One-on-one with Svoboda. Trying to go deep. Cuts away from Svoboda. In. Shot and a save. Hayward, what a rush. What a rush by Cam Neely as he cut away from Svoboda. And Hayward made the stop. 6-2 Boston at the Forum in Montreal. Here comes Keane. Bork trying to stop Corson. Corson deep puts it in front. Blocked by Don Sweeney, who has a goal and an assist tonight. Now to Bork and cleared out. Don Sweeney gets it to Prop. Fired in. 6:15 left. Third period. 6-2 Boston. Gould out there. Centering Prop and Neely. Into the Boston end. All the way to Moog. Drops it off for Galley. Now to Byers, who's played very little. Now to Gould with Carter. Would like to set John Carter up. Carter with 2 goals around the boards. Carter trying to keep it in. Can't do it. And the Canadians break. Keane up the middle. Keane. Chelios. His shot missed. Deflected into the stands. 6-2 Boston at the Forum in Montreal. Around the face-off in the Boston zone. 2 goals by John Carter tonight. 1 short-handed. Got the Bruins off and running. And the Canadians came back, and here is Courtnall moving one in, and he scores. Russ Courtnall, his second of the night, as the Bruins just kind of juggled it there, lost it, and Russ Courtnall, who's been everywhere for the Montreal Canadiens, popped it in to make it 6-3, 5:37 left. Well, that will happen.
Yeah, when you get
4 ahead.
No, the bouncing puck. What it was is just a break. Watch it squirt into the air. Galley misses it with his hand. Now he's turned away from it. Courtnall comes out. Just a quick release shot from Russ Courtnall. The only Canadian that has been consistent. He hasn't quit. He deserves that goal.
And that's his second of the game. Gould is out there with Christian and Burridge. Wesley and Bork on defense. 6-3 Boston. Wesley clears it. Chelios winding up. Courtnall from Lemieux on that goal. The Bruins forecheck. And winding up now is Chelios. Now to Courtnall. Look at him go. Up the left wing side. Gets away. Over the line. Clears it in. Bork blocks it. Trying to clear it out. Chelios stopped it. Chelios in for a quick shot. That was kind of fanned on by Smith on a face-off as Moog.
Bad angle for Bobby Smith.
Derek Sanderson's new position, Vice President Tucker Anthony. And investment manager since 1892. And I know John Goldsmith CEO, and Clive Fazioli, managing director, are delighted with the addition, Derek.
Well, I'm pleased to be there. What we've done is we're taking requests. If anyone's interested in an alcohol and drug awareness talk at your school, write Tucker Anthony, 1 Beacon Street. That's in schools. The school year isn't up yet. Lots to do.
And Derek, over the last 6 years, has spoken to 400,000 youngsters, and everybody agrees education is the only way
to go with the battle against drug abuse in this nation.
Carpenter and Smith on the face-off. Just under 5 minutes. Regulation. Back for Dufresne. Wraps it in deep. Smith trying to put it in front. Blocked. Lemieux trying to put it in front. Cuts away. Still going. Rolls it across. Kept in now by Schneider. Schneider taken down by Christian. It will be a power play for the Canadians.
What we don't want here is a sloppy finish. That's what the Bruins have got to fight against. They can't be just standing around not checking anyone. I've got my man theory. Does not work. They got here with hard work and tenacious checking in the last 3 or 4 minutes. The play has been in the Boston end. You can't play the clock out.
They played 13 marvelous minutes, and suddenly not bouncing right, and a goal by Courtnall, and now Schneider taken down by Christian, by Burridge is the call.
Well, hopefully, one of the things that does happen is the penalty killers come out, and they're just intent on doing their job. They stay successful.
2 goals by John Carter. Other scores by Ray Bourque, Brian Propp, Don Sweeney, and Dave Poulin. 2 by Russ Courtnall, 1 by Brent Gilchrist. And it is 6-3. And now the Canadians look at the clock, 4:40 left.
I mean, they have scored 3 goals in the history of this game quicker than 4:40.
Courtnall out there, of course. Face-off 1 for Bourque. Bourque, fell down, and it's kept in now by Lemieux. Lemieux into Courtnall. Broken up by Bourque. Around the boards it goes. Svoboda able to keep it in to Smith. Back for Svoboda at the right point. Cross for Chelios. Into Smith. One time it missed it. Moe clears it around. Carpenter able to chop it out as he beats Svoboda to it. 1:35 left on the penalty. 6-3 Boston. 3rd period. 4:10 left. Carter everywhere tonight. Breaks up Chelios and clears it. John Carter, of course, and Bob Carpenter establishing themselves as solid penalty killers for Boston. Steal by Carter. Hat-trick bid. Stopped by Hayward. Oh, grand opportunity as Carter broke in alone. Back comes Smith. At the line. Check. Cleared out. Here's Carter again. 2-on-1 with Don Sweeney. Schneider back. Fires. Hayward saves. All right, John Carter stole again and walked in, and Schneider starts it out. Unloads one. Deflected wide by Galley. Kept in by Lemieux. Power play Montreal. Don Sweeney breaks it up, and John Carter clears it. Chelios with it now. 3:20 left. Poulin breaks that one up. 40 seconds on the Montreal power play. Schneider works it over the line. In deep. Ray Bourque has time, though. Plenty of time to pick the opening there. 3 minutes left in the 3rd period. 20 seconds on the power play. And John Carter started things with a shorthanded goal. Should have had another one. Great chance. Of course, rushes in for a shot over the net on the follow-up by Skrudland. Great chance there. Corson keeps it in with Keane. To Keane. Blocked by Ray Bourque. Keane again. Blocked by Poulin. Trying to chop it out. Corson with it. Full strength Boston. Burridge getting back. And the Bruins break. Poulin with it. 3-on-2 for the moment. Poulin with Propp. Play broken up. Offside at the Montreal line. Superb penalty killing by Boston there with 2:30 left.
And to regroup the team. There was a definite lull there. The Bruins were just waiting for the time to run out. And the Canadians get a squeaky goal from Russ Courtnall, make it 6-3. Give your heart a little flutter, not much. But the best thing that could have happened was to go shorthanded, and the penalty killers come out, focused on a job. You get pumped to do that job. It's only really the 2nd occasion they've been out there. got the semblance of energy back. I said you want to finish strong. You don't want to finish sloppy. One, it gives them the feeling, the Montreal Canadiens, the feeling that they can come out the next game and regroup. If you got them down, leave them there, bury them there.
2 power plays for the Canadiens, and the Bruins had the better chances.
Yes, four great opportunities, 1 goal.
In the center ice, Galley breaks it up with a solid hit.
Did he ever
on
hit
Carbonneau?
Carbonneau? He does not. Guy Carbonneau don't like that one in a 6-3 game.
Out now comes Desjardins. Checked by Neely. 2 minutes left. 3rd period. 6-3 Boston. For checking Gould, Gilchrist starts it back. Dufresne. Check. Pops to the Boston bench, and a delighted Boston bench.
That's one thing about helmets I never thought. When the puck comes into the bench like that, Bobby Carpenter just tucked his head down, take the puck off the head.
How can a bench be delighted? I mean the people on the bench.
The people,
players.
The bench can't be delighted, Fred. Yes, you're right. The bench is wood. It doesn't really have... They used to have padding on the bench here in Montreal. A little touch of class. Well, they stopped that because when the players were going over the boards, they put the skate on the bench and cut it. So they kept on replacing it. So now they've gone back to your basic everyday wood.
Bruins with 4 power plays, and Don Sweeney has a power play goal. Canadians 0 for 2. Over the line, Neely back checking. Stopped by Carbonneau behind the net. A battle there. Gilchrist with it, puts it in front. Gould right there. Marvelous defensive player, Bobby Gould. And Don Sweeney pops it in, and Gould hustles in, trying to get a shot away on Hayward. Patrick Roy taken out of the game when the Bruins went 4-2 with 2 quick goals after the Canadians had tied it on a Russ Courtnall score. Carter, his second, and Propp. John Carter. What a show by the young man from Woburn and RPI. In the center ice. Oh, Chandler's Pond.
Chandler's Pond time. Just a little dingle-dangle out there. He was just heating up the clock. A resounding cheer here for the last minute of play in the game.
Bruins roll it back all the way to Hayward, and with it Ludwig. 6-3 Boston. Final minute. Ludwig carries. Now Corson over the line. Courtnall, a shot wide of Andy Moog. Kept in now by Courtnall, wheeling, and Ludwig missed his pass, so they have to regroup. With it, Chelios gave it away to Don Sweeney. Carpenter now and Burridge break over the line. In deep, Chelios and Burridge into the corner. 15 seconds left. 6-3 Boston, and they go up 3-0 in the series. Gould playing a lot here in the 3rd period. His pass deflected into the stands. Mike Milbury able to give some of the troops a rest. He's concentrated. Gould has been held as really a penalty killer and a spare, but here in the 3rd period used a lot.
I don't know that Stéphane Richer hasn't been on the bench for a while. If not the bench, the dressing room.
He hasn't. He's played very little. Bothered by the ankle injury, late to come out. And not a factor as Russ Courtnall was. And the Boston Bruins salute Andy Moog with an impressive 6-3 victory at the Montreal Forum. After Courtnall tied it early in the 2nd period, the Bruins took over with 3 goals and went on to a 6-3 win. The final score, Boston 6, Montreal 3. Derek and I will have the Delta recap in just a moment.
Delta Airlines. We love to fly, and it shows. Here once again, Fred Cusick and Derek Sanderson.
John Carter was named the #1 star and Raymond Bourque #2. No argument with that. An impressive victory for Boston.
Yeah, it was. They came out awful strong. My concern was, and I think everyone in Boston as well, was that Montreal coming out, that surge they always come up with in the 1st period, negated. The Bruins just outskated them, outplayed them all night. Got a little kind of cocky there for a while, wanted to sit on it, and they tied it up, and then Bruins just, Mike Milbury's timeout, regrouped, and away they went from there. A well-played game. I think Andy Moog played solid in the nets. That's the key to this victory.
Well, you said it late in the game. Richer was not a factor in this game.
No, and once the score got up there, I imagine Pat Burns wants to rest the leg as much as possible, which that sends a message to the rest of the team. Well, we're not going to play the big gun. What's going on? Is Stefan not playing because he's tender, or can he not play with pain? I don't know, but it's something when you see Richer out of this lineup, they're a different hockey club entirely.
Well, also out of the lineup, Patrick Roy. That's got to be very significant. If there was one player that could take the Montreal Canadiens right to the Stanley Cup, it would be Patrick Roy, and the Bruins drove him to cover.
Drove him to cover early, too. I mean, and not that, he was not sure of himself since the game in Boston 5-4. Since he's opened his mouth about Andy Moog and he criticized an opposing goaltender, it's never been done before. He's been struggling, and the attention here in Montreal was that he shouldn't have said anything. The Bruins went upstairs on him, beat him for four of their 5 goals upstairs, and tonight he was down way too early, and the Bruins were squirting him by shoulder high. So, I mean, he's got to be thinking now. Patrick Roy says, do I play next game or does it Brian Hayward?
And a great night for John Carter, as he had a shorthanded goal, another goal, and could have had a hat trick and more tonight, as the Bruins beat the Montreal Canadiens 6-3. They're up 3-0 in the series. Here's Gene.
Okay, gentlemen, thank you very much. The Bruins now in position to do something they haven't done in 61 years. The Bruins, if they win on Wednesday night, will sweep the Montreal Canadiens in a playoff series for the first time since 1929. Although way back then, it was a best-of-5 series, and the Bruins won 3 straight. But this year, they're looking to go for the sweep in 4, obviously. One other game in the NHL tonight. It was the Patrick Division Final playoff game. It's in the 3rd period right now. Washington Capitals dominating so far, 6-1 in the 3rd. John Druce and Jeff Courtnall with 2 goals each. Washington about to take a 2-1 lead in that best-of-7 series. Now, tomorrow night, the Campbell Conference returns to action. And in the Norris Division, the Chicago Blackhawks will look to even their series with the St. Louis Blues. St. Louis leading the series 2-1. And Edmonton will look to finish off the LA Kings in Los Angeles. The Oilers leading that best-of-7 series right now, 3-0. When we come back, we will have our Budweiser Player of the Game, and we'll have Terry O'Reilly's thoughts when we return. Boston Bruins Hockey on TV 38 continues. John Carter with a pair of goals tonight. So John Carter, for all you do, this Bud's for you. Our guest analyst Terry O'Reilly is with us now for some final thoughts tonight. Terry, you a bit surprised by how much the Bruins dominated this game tonight?
I was surprised at how wide open it was. I think, the fact that they scored 2 goals in their first 2 shots on Patrick Roy after the Canadiens had bounced back from a 2-goal deficit, that really broke their back, and they never recovered any momentum. The Bruins, once they get a 2-goal lead like that, they can shut things down pretty well with Ray Bourque quarterbacking the defense. So I think mentally they know that Richer isn't going to help them, and he scored 30% of their goals to date. And they knew that their #1 goalie wasn't playing up to his potential. And, there's rumors about having a little bit of trouble with the coach. So, they've got enough excuses to quit, and I don't think they can beat the Bruins.
So you think the Canadiens are done?
Yeah, they might squeak one out the next game just out of pride and desperation. But if the Bruins don't finish them off in 4, it'll be 5 for sure.
We talked a little bit about Patrick Roy. He was yanked out of the game tonight, certainly not playing up to his usual standards. He made some comments after the first game about Andy Moog's shutout being lucky. Do you think that provided a little bit of incentive for Boston? Certainly they got a little bit of revenge tonight against him, but did that really, Roy's comments, fuel any fire for the Bruins?
I think the players took exception to it and thoroughly enjoyed, getting to Patrick Roy. And I think it probably affected Andy Moog. He went in there and said, "Hey, I'll show you what kind of a goaltender I am," and he has. His save percentage is 9.921, as opposed to Roy, who was 0.914. So Andy's save percentage was better than Roy's going into tonight's game. I don't see how Roy could say anything about Andy Moog the way he's been playing in the nets.
Well, quickly now, we'll put you back as coach. Game 4, you're up 3 games tonight. Do you give some of your key players, Poulin, Janney, maybe even Andy Moog, a night off because they're rested, or do you want to go in and get this thing over with?
You want to get it over with so they can rest. If you can finish this series off in 4, you've got players, Poulin and Janney with shoulder problems. You've got Ray Bourque with the hip pointer. Those 3 players are key. If you can give them a little bit of rest, and there's countless other players that we know they're all playing with little nagging injuries here and there, that you give them 3 or 4 days off, they're going to be brand new. And they're getting help from everywhere. So all they have to do is keep the right attitude, get healthy, and get ready for the next round.
All right, Terry O'Reilly, appreciate you coming in and joining us tonight.
Thanks, Gene.
All right, Terry O'Reilly has been our special guest analyst. We'll be back with a couple final thoughts in just a moment. Sit through the final from the Forum in Montreal. Turning point in this game in the second period, the Bruins had a 2-0 lead. Montreal came back to tie it at 2-2. Mike Milbury calls a timeout, and then the Bruins quickly put 2 goals home in a 1:28 span, and the rest, as they say, is history. The Bruins now taking a commanding 3-0 lead in the best-of-7 series. John Carter with 2 goals. Ray Bourque had a goal. Brian Propp, Don Sweeney, and Dave Poulin also potting goals for the Bruins tonight. Once again, the final score from the Forum in Montreal, the Boston Bruins 6 and the Montreal Canadiens 3. For Fred Cusick, Derek Sanderson, Terry O'Reilly, and all of us here at TV 38, I'm Gene Levanchi. Thanks for joining us, and have a good night, everybody.